Okay, so when we talk about empathic leadership, it means that we're trying to foster a culture of understanding, of compassion, and of course, solidarity. And this is not from the place of the leader alone. Within a group, right? You show compassion, you understand each other, and of course, you foster solidarity. And of course, you say that you are empathic, it means that you are a leader who connects with emotions. You can't stand somewhere aloof and you say that you connect with people. As Christians, you can't be so far away and say that you're connecting with people. You need to be close to them, okay? And you understand what they are going through. So, what do we mean when we talk about empathy? Empathy means sensory perception. That means that you are able to use your sensory organs. You can hear people, you can see them, you can feel them, right? Your sensory perception is important. Without it, you are not going to get to that level where you say that you can empathize with someone. And of course, you value them. When you hear people, they also feel that there is that connection. They feel that they are valued. And of course, they know that you understand what they are going through. About Jesus' listening skills. In Luke 13, remember the story of the woman who was bent over while Jesus was teaching in the synagogue. The woman went in, and just by seeing her, Jesus was able to connect with her pain. And what did he want to do? He wanted to cure her, and he told her that she was, free of her infirmities. He connected with her. He understood what she was going through. Mark 10 tells us about the story of the blind Bartimaeus. He had faith. He was seated somewhere and he shouted. Jesus heard that voice amongst every other voice. He picked that one because he could connect with him. He showed empathy. He wanted to heal him. And also, we know the story of Lazarus. Specifically, well, growing up, one of the easiest memory texts that children would first know was what? Jesus wept. Just 2 words, Jesus wept. And think about it. Why would Jesus, the Son of Man, weep for somebody? That means he connected. He understood what was going through. And of course, he knew that, well, the sisters said he had died. There were people there who were also crying. They were saying, oh, if you were here, he wouldn't have died. Jesus understood what was going on with them, and he wept. And another story of, the woman with the issue of blood. No name, but we know her as the woman with the issue of blood. And she had this for how long? 12 years. That was a very, very long time. And it was said that she had gone through a lot. People were using her to, make money. And her case was getting worse. Jesus felt that touch. And remember, when he asked who touched him, I'm sure people must have been like, are you kidding me? In this congregation, with this crowd, you mean someone touched you and you're asking specifically for that person? Jesus knew that something was different. Someone different touched him with her faith. She stretched her faith. And of course, Jesus showed empathy because he knew that she needed to be healed. Now, where do you stand? Are you a hearer or you're a listener? Where do you think you stand? Be objective. Don't just answer because you think, oh, we are in church and they're telling us to listen. Then I should say I'm a listener. Answer within yourself. I'm not saying you should, tell me. But ask yourself, are you a hearer or you are a listener. Now, what are the qualities of a hearer? When you hear, it means that you're passive. Someone next door may be hearing me right now. They can hear my voice. If there were, let's say, an expressway outside, we would hear the cars passing, maybe shops around, a lot of music, and all of those. We can hear these things, but are we really paying attention to them? If no, then you are hearing. That is just hearing. It is passive. Hearing is just perception of sound. You are using your sensory organs. You can hear something. And of course, it is accidental and most times involuntary. You're not doing it because you want to do it, but it just came to you. And what about listening? If you are a listener, it means that you are active. You're actively listening. There's something in psychology that is used now, and it is active listening. You just don't listen to people. You listen to people actively. That is important. And of course, it is interpretation of sound. When you're hearing, right, you could pick up the sounds, but when you're listening, you are interpreting the sounds that you are getting. You interpret those sounds to make meaning to you and for that person to feel valued. And of course, you are intentional with your responses and every reaction that you give. So what does it mean to listen? You love. You can't listen without loving. You should love. And of course, you inquire. You ask questions. You just don't stand there and, no expression, nothing. You can make inquiries by even your gestures. That person knows that you are connecting with him or her. And of course, you need to stop. So you stop because you need to be quiet, silent. Two people cannot be talking at the same time and they say that they are listening to each other. It's not possible. You've been in arguments before. While both of you are talking, nobody is listening to the other. You cannot listen while you are talking. You need to stop and be silent. And of course, you need to test what you know. You can, probe and ask some questions. Okay, so are you saying this is how you feel? Is this how you feel? Then also you need to engage. You can't just be there without engaging that individual. And of course you need to, nudge them a little. Oh, what if this were the case? How could I help you? What can I do to make this differently? And remember, Proverbs 18 verse 2 says that a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. You know how strong that word is for someone to be called a fool. You can't always be that person who wants to throw out his or her opinion. You need to get from other people. You need to have best opinions first. Listen, keep quiet sometimes and hear what is going on around you so that you can feel what people around you are feeling. You can connect with them, and of course that would help you to make better judgments. And as leaders, we need to listen. We need to lead by listening. You cannot lead people if you are not listening to them. You are just going through your own journey if you don't listen to people. You are just on your own path. You have people that you think are following you, but trust me, you don't have followers if you are not listening. To be a good leader, you have to be a great listener. You can't achieve leadership without listening. And of course, remember, we said that for you to understand, it means that you have listened. There is no understanding without listening. So, so we listen, we understand, we show compassion, and of course we empathize with people. And I'm sure that if we're able to build these skills, we will be better leaders and of course better Christians. Thank you.
I always like the story of the woman that was bent over. And I like the song that was associated with it. We sing like this. Don't mind my voice. I don't know how to sing very well, but I'll try. Said, let me touch him. Let me turn